What if the moment someone tried to control you was actually the moment you were supposed to discover how powerful you truly are? What if every manipulation you ever faced was not a punishment from life, but a test to see whether you would collapse under pressure or rise into the version of yourself that no one, absolutely no one, could ever touch again? What if the pain you felt when someone twisted your words, used your kindness against you, made you question your own mind? What if that pain was not meant to destroy you, but to build you into something unbreakable? Right now, in this very moment, you are either becoming someone who keeps giving their power away or someone who finally decides to take it back. And I need you to stay with me until the very end of this, because what you are about to hear will not just change how you think. It will change how you stand, how you speak, how you walk into every room for the rest of your life. The woman who cannot be manipulated is not born, she is built. And today we begin building her. Stay with me. What if everything you ever thought was your weakness was actually the raw material of your greatest strength? Sit with that question for a moment. What if your sensitivity, your kindness, your desire to be loved, your fear of losing people, what if none of that was ever the problem? What if the real problem was simply that you did not yet know how to protect those beautiful parts of yourself from people who were never worthy of them in the first place? Today, we are going to talk about something that most people avoid, something that feels uncomfortable, something that forces you to look not just at the people who have hurt you, but also at the mirror. We are going to talk about manipulation, what it is, how it enters your life, and more importantly, how you become the kind of woman it can never reach again. Because here is the truth, that the world does not say loudly enough. Manipulation is not just something that happens to weak women. It happens to brilliant women, compassionate women, hardworking women, women who love deeply and give generously. In fact, the more light you carry inside you, the more certain kinds of people are drawn to that light, not to celebrate it, but to use it. So let us begin. Let us begin at the very root. What is manipulation truly? Manipulation is not always a raised voice. It is not always obvious. It does not always look like a villain standing in front of you with clear intentions written on their face. No, real manipulation is quiet. It is slow. It disguises itself as love, as concern, as helpfulness, as loyalty. It enters your life wearing the face of someone you trust. It is the person who makes you feel guilty for having needs. It is the one who gives you a compliment in the same sentence as a criticism, so that you are never quite sure whether to feel good or feel small. It is the one who says, I am only doing this because I love you, as they slowly take away your freedom, your voice, your sense of self. It is the one who creates chaos and then offers themselves as the solution. It is the one who makes you feel like you are always almost enough, but never quite there yet. And the most dangerous thing about manipulation is this: it does not destroy you all at once. It dismantles you piece by piece, so slowly that you do not even notice you are disappearing. You start adjusting your words, then your opinions, then your desires, then your dreams, until one day you look in the mirror and you do not recognize the woman looking back at you, and you cannot even remember the last time you made a decision based purely on what you wanted. That is what manipulation does. And that is exactly why we must talk about it with complete honesty today. Now, who does manipulation target? This is where most conversations get it wrong. They say manipulation targets weak people. That is not true. Manipulation targets unaware people. There is a profound and crucial difference between weakness and unawareness. A woman can be extraordinarily strong and still be manipulated, simply because she has not yet learned to recognize the patterns. She has not yet understood the mechanics of how psychological influence works. She has not yet connected the dots between her own unhealed pain and the doors it leaves open for the wrong people to walk through. Every human being carries wounds. Every woman has a story, a chapter where she was not valued, where she was abandoned, where she was told she was too much or not enough. And those wounds, when left unexamined, become vulnerabilities. Not because you are weak, but because you are human. The manipulator does not need strength to overpower you. They need to find your wound and simply press on it repeatedly. They need to know what you fear losing. They need to know what makes you feel unloved. And once they have that, they have leverage. And leverage is the currency of manipulation. So the very first step in becoming a woman who cannot be manipulated is this. You must know your own wounds before someone else uses them against you. This is not comfortable work. This is the kind of inner journey that requires sitting alone in silence and asking yourself the questions that frighten you. What am I most afraid of? Where do I seek approval? What will I tolerate just to avoid abandonment? What parts of myself do I hide because I fear rejection? These questions are not meant to make you feel broken. They are meant to make you free. Because awareness is the beginning of everything, you cannot protect what you do not understand. And once you understand your own interior landscape, once you can walk through your own inner world with full clarity, no one can navigate it better than you. No one can use a map of your soul that only you possess. Now let us talk about the discipline of your mind. The mind that can be easily disturbed can be easily controlled. Think about this carefully. When you are emotionally reactive, when you respond immediately to every provocation, when you let your feelings run faster than your thoughts, you are giving others the remote control to your behavior. And someone with bad intentions will press those buttons without mercy. This is why inner stillness is not a luxury. It is armor. Imagine a lake. When the wind blows and the surface of the lake becomes turbulent, you cannot see the bottom. The water is unclear, restless, disturbed. But when the lake is still, perfectly still, you can see all the way to the very bottom with complete clarity. You can see exactly what is there. Nothing is hidden. Your mind works the same way. When you are emotionally turbulent, angry, anxious, afraid, desperate, you cannot see clearly. You cannot see people's true intentions. You cannot distinguish between genuine love and calculated affection. You cannot tell the difference between real concern and controlling behavior dressed as concern. But when you cultivate stillness, when you train your mind through daily discipline, through reflection, through intentional silence, you develop what is perhaps the most powerful gift a woman can possess. You develop the ability to see people clearly, not through the lens of what you want them to be, not through the fog of your own fear or longing, but exactly as they are. And this is not something that happens overnight. This is the result of consistent daily practice, the practice of pausing before reacting, the practice of observing your own thoughts without immediately obeying them, the practice of sitting in discomfort without rushing to escape it, the practice of questioning, always questioning, why do I feel this way? What is this emotion trying to tell me? Is this reaction mine, or has someone planted it inside me? A woman who asks these questions regularly becomes nearly impossible to manipulate because the entire architecture of manipulation depends on fast, unexamined reactions. The moment you slow down, the entire structure collapses. Let us speak now about boundaries, because this is where many women struggle the most. Most women were never taught how to say no without apologizing for it. Most women were raised in environments that rewarded self-sacrifice and punished self-assertion. You were taught to be accommodating, to be agreeable, to be flexible, to put others first. And these are not bad values, they are beautiful values when they come from genuine love and choice. But when they come from fear, fear of disappointing someone, fear of conflict, fear of being called selfish, they are not virtues, they are vulnerabilities. A boundary is not a wall. A boundary is a declaration of who you are. It is a statement that says, this is where I end and where you begin. This is what I will accept in my life and what I will not. This is the standard I hold for myself and for those who wish to be close to me. And these standards are not negotiable, not for affection, not for approval, not for love. And here is what nobody tells you about boundaries. the moment you begin setting them. Certain people in your life will react very badly. They will call you selfish. They will say you have changed. They will accuse you of being cold or distant or difficult. They will make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. And I need you to hear this clearly. That reaction is not proof that you are wrong. That reaction is proof that your boundary is working. Because the people who truly love you, who truly respect you, who are genuinely good for you, they will respond to your boundaries with understanding. They will adjust. They may need time, but they will try. The ones who respond with anger, guilt-tripping, or punishment, they are telling you something vital about their intentions. They are showing you exactly what they wanted from you, and it was not your happiness, it was your compliance. So you must learn to be comfortable with disappointing people whose satisfaction was always built on your sacrifice. That is not a relationship, that is an arrangement, and you deserve so much more than an arrangement. Now, let us talk about your independence, your emotional, mental, and financial independence. Because this is the one thing that truly frightens those who wish to control you. As long as you need them for money, for validation, for a sense of identity, for emotional survival, you are manageable. You will always return. You will always negotiate. You will always compromise your boundaries for fear of losing what you have built around that dependence. But the moment you become truly independent, the moment you can look at your life and say, I am whole, I am capable, I can provide for myself, I can comfort myself, I know who I am without your validation, something remarkable happens. The control mechanism dissolves. There is simply nothing left to pull you back. This is why your personal development is not selfishness. This is why your career, your education, your financial literacy, your therapy, your friendships, your spiritual practice, none of these are extras. None of these are things you pursue after you have taken care of everyone else's needs. These are your foundation. These are what make you unmovable. A woman with a strong foundation cannot be shaken by someone else's storm. She can be affected, yes. She is human and she will feel things deeply, but she will not be swept away. She will not abandon herself in the chaos of someone else's manipulation. She will feel the wind and she will remain standing. Build your foundation. Build it every single day. Read the book, take the course, have the difficult conversation with yourself. Build the savings account. Keep the friendships that nourish you. Return to your body through movement. Return to your mind through stillness. Return to your values through daily reflection. This is not routine. This is revolution. The revolution of a woman becoming completely unapologetically herself. And finally, let us speak about the most misunderstood quality in all of this. Compassion. Becoming a woman who cannot be manipulated does not mean becoming a woman without heart. It does not mean becoming suspicious of everyone. It does not mean closing yourself off from love or connection or vulnerability. It does not mean becoming hard. It means becoming discerning. It means learning to love from a position of strength rather than fear. It means giving from a place of genuine generosity rather than from a place of needing something in return. It means being vulnerable with the people who have earned your vulnerability, not handing it freely to everyone who asks for it. Real love, healthy love, does not ask you to disappear. Real love celebrates your boundaries. Real love does not require you to betray yourself in order to earn belonging. Real love says, be exactly who you are, and I will meet you there. And you, as a woman who is growing, evolving, doing this work, you deserve nothing less than that. You deserve the kind of love that makes you more yourself, not less. The kind of connection that expands you rather than diminishes you. The kind of relationships where you do not have to manage someone's ego at the expense of your own peace. You deserve to walk through life knowing that your presence is powerful. Your voice matters. Your feelings are valid. Your needs are not burdens. Your standards are not arrogance. Your strength is not a threat. It is a gift to every person fortunate enough to be in your life. So I ask you one final time, what if this was the moment everything changed? What if today was the day you decided to stop making yourself smaller for people who never deserved your greatness? What if today was the day you began building the inner architecture of a woman who knows herself so deeply, who stands in her values so firmly, who has cultivated such profound clarity of mind that manipulation simply finds no foothold? It is possible, not because it is easy, but because you are capable of doing difficult things, because you have already survived what was designed to break you, because every challenge you have faced has been depositing something inside you: resilience, wisdom, discernment, depth, whether you felt it at the time or not. You are not starting from nothing, you are starting from experience. And that is an extraordinary place to begin. The woman who cannot be manipulated is not made of stone. She is made of self-knowledge, stillness, boundaries, independence, compassion, and courage. She is made of the willingness to look at herself honestly and keep choosing growth even when it is uncomfortable. She is made of the decision, made again and again, every single day, to be loyal to herself first. That woman exists inside you. She has always been there. She is waiting for you to stop apologizing for her, stop shrinking her, and stop hiding her from the world. Go be her, completely, without apology, without hesitation, without permission from anyone. This speech began with a question, what if? And it ends with a truth. The truth is that no one is born invincible. No woman wakes up one morning suddenly free from the patterns that once held her hostage. The journey toward becoming a woman who cannot be manipulated is exactly that, a journey. It is walked one decision at a time, one boundary at a time, one honest conversation with yourself at a time. It requires you to do the uncomfortable work of self-examination, to look at your wounds, understand your patterns, and choose healing over familiarity. It requires you to train your mind towards stillness, discipline your reactions, and develop the rare and powerful ability to see people and situations exactly as they are, not as you wish them to be. It requires you to build your independence, honor your boundaries without guilt, and surround yourself only with those who celebrate your wholeness rather than exploit your openness. And above all, it requires you to remember that compassion and strength are not opposites. The most powerful woman in the room is often the most loving one, simply because she loves from a place of complete wholeness, not from a place of desperate need. You began this journey the moment you chose to listen. That choice was not an accident. Something inside you was ready. Honor that readiness. Trust that instinct. Keep walking forward, even on the days when it feels slow, when it feels hard, when it feels like you are back at the beginning. You are not at the beginning. You are in the middle of becoming something magnificent. The woman who cannot be manipulated is not a destination. She is a practice. She is you showing up for yourself every single day with honesty, with courage, and with an unshakable commitment to your own dignity.